Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Eachine EC30. This is another cheap 1/14 scale buggy, but is it going to be better than the King, the 144001? Well, let's take a closer look. Initial impressions, well, I think it looks really good. I'm a huge fan of the colour scheme. I like the big wing on the back. Overall, looks like a decent little buggy. Let's take a look at what we get in the box and then we'll fire this thing up and see how it performs. Now we've got a 1500 milliamp hour 2S lithium ion battery, and I'm hoping that gives us decent runtime because this is a light buggy. We've got a screwdriver with some screws to attach the rear wing. All of that stuff is included in the box. We've got a black and white manual which is definitely worth a read, and it's also got some exploded diagrams in the back, which is handy if you're just starting out and you end up breaking the model. You'll be able to find out quickly exactly what parts you need. We've got a decal sheet, a basic USB charger, some spare body clips, and finally the transmitter is your typical high boxing style transmitter. You do have a speed adjustment, and you've also got your usual steering trim. You only need 2 AA batteries to get you up and running, and even though these things do feel a little bit cheap and plasticky, they are good enough and I've never had any issues with them. So I think what we'll do is we'll get the body shell off, let's take a closer look underneath, and then we'll get this thing out for a quick run. Starting with the electronics then, we've got a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. We've got a 390 size brush motor with a blue heatsink. That looks very nice. We've also got a 2.2 kilogram mini servo there, and that is using a 3-wire system, which is handy if you want to upgrade at a later time. Now they say this little buggy will do about 50 kilometers per hour. Well, we're going to find out later. Let's talk about some of the chassis features then, because straight away everything on this does look like it's come from high boxing. Now even though this is sold as an Eachine, I think this is probably just a rebranded high boxing. As you can see, everything on there screams high boxing. Let's talk very quickly about the shocks on this then, because they aren't oil filled, which is a little bit disappointing, because oil filled shocks I think should come as a standard feature on every cheap RC. Overall they don't feel too bad, definitely a little bit bouncy, but this is a light buggy, so I'm hoping performance isn't impacted too much. Upgrades are available, and they even do a Pro brushless version which comes with oil filled shocks and various other upgrades, and I actually have that one on its way over to me, so it'll be good to compare both together and see if it's worth the extra money. This buggy comes with metal shock towers, plastic drive shafts front and rear. We've got a metal centre drive shaft, a plastic chassis, and everything on this buggy is made out of that durable high boxing plastic. And don't let the level of plastic on this little buggy put you off, because high boxing are known for creating some very durable little machines. As you would expect, the buggy is fully proportional and it does have ball bearings throughout. The wheels and tyres look really nice. I'm a huge fan of this design. Now the tyre compound does feel a little bit firm. Very firm in fact, not plasticky, but definitely firm. I'm very interested to see how these perform in the dirt. So let's get the included battery fitted and let's see how this little buggy performs. So here we go then, first test of the EC30. Now straight away, those friction shocks are extremely bouncy. It actually jumps quite well considering though. Handle's really nice. The servo's nice and quick. Just want to show you how quick that servo actually is. That's actually really impressive. Now the only thing letting me down at the moment is those friction shocks. Handling feels really good. It's also a decent amount of power considering it is only a 390 brush system. But those friction shocks are so bouncy. And I really wish this thing come with oil filled shocks straight out the box. Now I know they do the Pro brushless upgrade, and yes, the upgrades are available for this, but considering how much this costs, if it had oil-filled shocks, I really do think it would be a winner. I think all ready-to-run cheap RC cars these days should come with oil-filled shocks out the box. I've said it so many times now, friction shocks should be banned. I mean, come on guys, what is going on? We're in 2022. Like, I can appreciate the vintage stuff and the retro stuff still using friction shocks, but oil-filled shocks are so cheap these days, there's absolutely no reason why they should keep including the friction shocks as a standard feature. Now, yes, I know they want to sell the Pro brushless models and they want to sell the upgrades, but this thing would be such a hit straight out the box if it had oil-filled shocks. Before we end the video today, we're going to do a quick speed test. Let's see how fast this little buggy actually is. Now, they say this will do 50 kilometers per hour, which is about 31 miles per hour. I'm not sure we're going to see that today. Now, I think we're going to see closer to 20 miles per hour. Maybe 21, 22. I don't think we're going to see 31. Handles really well, this little buggy, and I am using the included lithium ion pack. Now, it may be a little bit quicker using a LiPo battery, but I want to do a fair test. I've got my little lad out with me today. He's my little helper. He has appeared on the channel before. Do you want to say hello, Sam? No, come closer. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
How fast do you think it's going to be? Is it going to hit 31? No. So let's see what we got then. So we got 19, that is nowhere near the 31 claim top speed that they say this will do. So there we go then guys, that was the brand new Eachine EC30, a decent little buggy, but not without its faults. Now don't get me wrong, for a beginner it is going to perform really well out the box, just as you see in the action footage there, but for someone who's already been into the hobby for a little while, this may not tick all the boxes for you. If it had oil-filled shocks, I think it would be a different story. So would I go for this over the 144001? Well, at this stage I don't think I would. This thing is crying out for a set of oil-filled shocks. The Wltoys comes with oil-filled shocks out the box. You've also got metal drive shafts, metal components, and yes, even though I do like plastic on RC cars, especially for beginners, I think you're going to get more for your money with the Wltoys. So who is this little buggy for then? Because if it isn't better than the 144001, why would you buy one of these? Well look, it's decent out the box, it's fairly quick. I think this thing would be good for an absolute beginner, or maybe if you're looking to get the kids into the hobby. This thing's going to be durable because that plastic that they use on these is extremely durable. Now the final question we need to ask ourselves, do we go for the brushed or do we go for the brushless version of the EC30? Now it's very difficult for me to answer that question at this stage because I haven't tested the brushless version out yet. This performed really well, especially when it comes to the handling. It handled really well, surprisingly well actually, and I think with a brushless system in there, oil-filled shocks, I think it's going to be a winner. So we're going to leave the video there today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the EC30 by Eachine, and if you did, be sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this little buggy. Do you disagree with me? Do you think this is better than the 144001, or is that thing still the king of budget buggies? So Sam, what have you got to say to people? If they haven't already, make sure they have subscribed. Yeah, say bye. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you again soon on the next one. Take care.